every Tuesday and every Thursday.
Hey, is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody
Anthony
out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank Christina Carter. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Christina Carter. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick every Tuesday. Everything is going down. Thursday. They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo. On the weekends, the Roy Anthony Show. It's during the week, homie. The Roy Anthony Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a tap in. Before we gotta tap in. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Every Tuesday. Come on and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony Show. Every Thursday. It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony.
The Roy Anthony Show. What it do? What it do? What it do? I am comedian Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. We're here on the Woe Entertainment, which was created by our main producer, Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, who's sitting in the background today. We have our co-creator Goose, along with our different hosts and social producer, like our special social producer Blue Phoenix, and then we have a man Nathan, who be coming in, and we have this I think it's Matt Brooks. I've been wanting to say his name out. I've seen some information. I seen a little post he put on Facebook, and sometimes we all go through that situation. Matt, you're not by yourself, and you just stay strong, because when one door is shut, and that means another door is opening. So sometimes we fear the unknown, the transition. Sometimes we have to be with someone else, and sometimes we think that our world will not be the same, but then you'll find that the pastures is greener. You didn't make it happen. It wasn't your fault. It's mutual situations, but I want you to stay strong and keep pressing on and pressing on. And we know that the Woe Entertainment was created because we have to bring awareness to so many of our veterans that comes back to the U.S. and are committing suicide. Right now, it seems like we're preparing for a war, and yet we're depending on our soldiers. But we should not just depend on them when they are abroad, but we should celebrate them when they're here, because we have, especially like myself, who utilizes the freedom that I have in America to be able to speak the things I want to say, and you know, you can be free to say comments and everything, but they fight for these type of situations, which is keeping it called, tyranny to take over. CO all, that's where my man came in. We have my co-stars that be coming in a second. Big Hank, who's always doing something for the church. He works with not just a Black church, but it's the Latino church that's connected, and they all work within the neighborhood. And so, believe it or not, Big Hank is almost like, not only is he the head deacon, but he's like the council. I call him like the council. What's those, like, he's not a police officer, but the whole neighborhood seems to react to him like a constable or somebody, right? And it's just beautiful in the neighborhood. We're about to be sharing out, a lot of people want to know what's going on today. Me and the whole Woe Entertainment Richard King and I, the producer of and the creator of Whoa Entertainment, came up with that we was gonna have a subject and we was gonna piggyback off each other on this subject today. And one of the subjects that's been really bothering, especially our producer, is the so many people that's incarcerated and they're innocent. Countless times over and over and over, we keep hearing someone on death row for 20 years, 25 years to find that they were innocent. When me myself been watching Criminal Minds for years like everybody else, and it seems like they have all the top information, the technology to find out the real criminal, but yet we're 20 years since Criminal Minds came out and we still got people who is in prison and they were free. And then what really gets me is when you got states that don't want to compensate these people. You want to argue them out. You got some district attorneys who rather keep them in the prison knowing that they're innocent because they're looking at the pay. I want to bring in our producer coming in. Let me bring him in right now. What's up with you, Richie King? How you doing, bro?
What's up, Roy? Thanks for having me on. Excuse me. Just remind everybody, you're going to be, dang it, getting over a cold. Actually, I'm getting over COVID. You're going to be on tonight with us at 6 o'clock on our show, talking about this very topic, because we just can't do it in one show. This is a multiple show topic. It's about all facets of life: men, women, black, white, poor. You notice I didn't say rich, poor, and we need to shed some light on this. And you hit on it, and you come out of the gate swinging, man. And I appreciate that. But in the age of forensics, the age of touch DNA, age of DNA period, you can't tell me you can't get the right person anymore. I mean, you can see a 6-foot Arabian dude over in Saudi Arabia, 2,000 miles away, but you can't see who did something right here local. You can't figure this out. This is crap. Is it racial? Is it bigotry? What is it? I don't know, but I know, like you said, my wife watches a lot of the ID channel, and I watched a marathon of this the other day, and I watched 10 straight episodes. And 10 straight episodes of people set in prison for 10 to 15 years when the prosecuting attorney had the DNA, had the evidence to let them out, to free them up. Now I ask you, how's that fair? How's that?
Well, see, and see, that's the thing that we have been saying that because especially as me, I'm an ambassador as being a black. And me and Richie King talk, and sometimes there's subjects that once you keep beating that drum, eventually other people hears that beat, and actually we're paying attention to the same thing. Look, like he said, it's not just blacks, but blacks suffers a lot through it because we wonder how does these things occur. Well, me, I'm always researching stuff, and I like to dig down in the core. Now, if someone's on death row and they're about to face death, guess what? The governor can make a last-second call and exonerate them. Am I correct?
Yes.
From being on death. Now,
yes. The governor himself can do that.
Can exonerate someone.
Yeah, the governor himself can make that call.
I remember when I was a little kid, they showed me a movie and I was scared. It made me scared and cry. It was with Elizabeth Taylor, and she was headed to the depths. It was called I Want to Live. And they built it all up. And as a kid, it terrified me. And they was waiting to see if the governor was going to call, and the time was ticking and stuff. And then by the time they dropped it, the phone rang. I was like, oh my good, right? Now, if the governor can honorate someone from having a death, what do we do? Now, I want to start off like this. You talking about starting off swinging. I want to bring this up, and because this is staying on the subject of what we're talking about. Now, if the if the if the police, I mean the governor can exonerate you, Richie, what do you do when it's something like this? Now I want to start with this.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you was gonna say something.
Well, I was going to say, this sickens me. Okay, because you know how I feel about the governors. You and I've had a conversation. The governor is the highest person in your life because you deal with him more than you deal with the president. Okay, the governor runs your state. Blah blah blah. So when you got a governor who's taking a big giant crap on his people, it sickens me. The governor's supposed to have your back. He's supposed to be interested of the people of his state. And I don't know. He's ill-informed. He's ill-informed.
But see,
I don't even. That's the right word. Ill-informed. He's stupid, is what it is.
What gets me though, Rich, you have said this before, and I want everybody to understand is that Richie has always brought up since I've known him that we shouldn't even, the president don't have control. The controlling person in your state is the governor.
Yeah.
Now, if he can exonerate someone from the death penalty, that means we hold him in high regards, right?
Right. Supposed to.
This particular governor, and it was a trip, is that I tell people, it bothers the mess out of me. Where when I vote, I don't vote on a personal situation. I try to vote where it comes economically well off for me and my neighbors and stuff, right? I'm not gonna vote for someone that I think that's against me. Now, for the life of me, I can't understand where I'm a free American. I'm getting to a point, Richie. I'm a free American. I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I can be swayed. What gets me by our society, especially amongst my blacks, is that we're constantly making it seem like the Republican Party is the evil towards blacks. But when you go through our history, even with Abraham Lincoln, okay, so when President Reagan was in, they said dope game came out, but when Clinton eras came in, the war on drugs sent so many innocent people who some had drugs to prison. We had more private sanctioned prisons put up. I found this out. I did a research, and it's all up on this subject about false imprisonment. I did a research and found out these private prisons, when they are open, they ask for a quota that they want to be at least the minimum at 80% of population. People, so if no one is correcting felonies, well, we're going to send you to prison for misdemeanors. And if there's not enough in misdemeanors, we're going to send you to prison for the infraction. We have, Richie, a judicial system that is not based on sending you to prison off of laws you break. If you break a law, the feds are involved. What the cities and the states deal with is called penal codes. They have all these lists of penal codes where these penal codes send you to prison. You have police officers stopping you for a penal code that they don't even know what the penal code is. They know you did something.
That's true. And I'll tell you, if you don't believe that statement Roy just said, I got something I want y'all to do. I want you to go find 3 different police officers, okay, and ask them all 3 the same 3 questions. And I bet you your rent money, you get different answers from each one of them.
You would get different answers.
You will. I did that. I know you'll get different answers. And is it their fault? No, they're just not trained right. They're not trained.
Well,
Train these people.
it,
And like you
this is
said, hire the smart ones. Don't hire the dumb ones.
okay.
Hire the smart ones
Okay,
and
now
then pay them.
if the governor can exonerate, and you tell us this, that our governor, I start paying attention more to the governor. Then, okay, if anybody's unaware, you have a loved one, you got family members. I think all of us have a family member or associate, someone you love. You get a call in the middle of the night. They done died in a car accident. That's already terrifying. That's hurtful. You found out that they died in a terrible car accident, and you just hurting. Now, 2 years later, it's discovered that they didn't die in a car accident. They was murdered by the police. Not only were they murdered, it'd be different if they was having a shootout. It's recorded. You can hear the man with his ankles being handcuffed. This is modern day, handcuffed, being dragged across the road on his stomach, and he's saying, "Hey man, I'm your brother. I'm scared. What's going on?" And they beating him and punching him. So they let the governor know what happened 2 hours later. Governor John Bel Edwards, who's a Democrat, was immersed in a difficult re-election campaign when he received a text message from the head of the state police. Now, to my understanding, if Richie committed a murder and I was informed about it, and then 2 years later they find that he did that, to my understanding, I think that I'm part of that crime as well.
Yeah. Aiding and abetting. I don't know, there's a couple. There's about 4 or 5 other charges. Be just like you pulled the trigger yourself. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's not a black or white thing, because to my understanding, that little dude, the little young dude who went into school and shot, they was looking for his parents and they had left out. Now they accused of being accessory to murder, even though they didn't go to the school. They knew that they gave their son a gun. I'm trying to understand, if this man has the authority, or you're telling me that you can live day by day and tell me that you are a fine Christian family man, knowing that you got an innocent murder in your hands that has not been justified. What God are they? I want to know what God is what people serve. I don't understand. I'm confused.
I don't know what you're confused about nor shocked about. This happens on a mass scale all the time, man. You shouldn't be shocked by this at all. One of the questions we need to figure out is, what are we going to do about this kind of behavior?
But see, that's the thing. We're too busy. It seems like our attention is concerned about one dude. We always hearing something about former President Trump and his family. I'm like tired of that.
Yeah.
I want to see something about American people. We got soldiers going over here about to fight a war way on the other side of a country, of the world.
That ain't none of our business. I'll say it. It ain't none of our business. I'm tired of
how we gonna make China mad, and we got Chinese enveloped in most of on all the property in all our downtowns, and
a lot of it's bluster.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. No matter how we do, it's like my family. America is my family. Like now, my media family, we sometimes are at odds about something, but we don't show it to the rest of the world. I don't like when I hear commentators say America's wrong, why we should be on Russia's side. See, this is the stuff that is not united. And then we say true Americans. I'm not even going to say his name, as commentators, all against, you know, and then think about our troops. Let's talk about our troops. We already concerned with the ones who's coming here, coming back, committing suicide. Now we got them about to face another situation, but yet, and I have to say this. Oh, wait a minute, Big Hank's in. I'm sorry, I didn't see you, Big Hank. Let me bring him on in, Richie and stuff. My bad, Big Hank. How you doing, bro?
What's happening? What's going on, Roy? What's up, Richie?
How you doing, Hank? What's going on, brother?
All right, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Always.
How about them? How about them Rams?
You already know, man. I need you to break mine off, man. Then I win the bet.
Yeah, I won. I took the Rams.
I took the Rams too. Shit, I took the Rams too. All right.
No bangers. But yeah, glad you're in here, brother.
Yes, sir.
Here's some other things too. Not only is the penal system in this country crazy, right? The cops do bad, the prosecutor turn his hold up for the cops. And then you got judges who got this knowledge, right? The same power to rectify a decision made, and they don't do it either. Okay, and it's just never an vicious circle of suck, man. If you're poor, you can't get a fair shake at all, and it doesn't matter if you're women, men, whatever. It's just disgusting. I mean, I went out and fought, for my country, and I come back and fight for this. This is what I fought for.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes no sense. No wonder we got our brothers and sisters out there commit suicide, 22 a day, because they come home to this crap, and it ain't just service. Here's a law right here. There's a law in the state of Missouri, okay, that says they cannot shut your power off if it's more than 32 degrees for 24 consecutive hours. All right, they do it anyway. When you call them and tell them that they can't do it, we don't care about that law. That law don't pertain to us. That law pertains to everybody. Every water company, every electric company in the state of Missouri it pertains to, but they do nothing about it. Why? Because it's money. Because it's greed. Okay, there's more money for an innocent black man to sit in on the death row. There's more money for an innocent black man to sit in the prison, or innocent person to sit in there, than it is to set him out here. I mean, you send somebody. There's a gentleman in the state of Missouri who did 25 years for having one joint on him. They gave him 25 years for that. I mean,
hey, Richie, I heard you say if you was poor, you don't have a chance. But just imagine being poor and black. You really fucked up. You know what I mean? So yeah, without a doubt, man. So first of all, the laws wasn't. We wasn't the ones that made the law. The law was made, to protect the ones that made it. The ones that made the law, that's who win from the law. They not. So
they do a fine job too.
I was saying, Big Hank, that really, see, a lot of people don't understand is that when you break a law, you're going really against the feds. Feds protect the laws. Cities and states have penal codes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And within these penal codes, you can do all types. And if you notice within the past 5 years, when it was Democrats in, when did people start going to prison for misdemeanors? In the past 5 to 6, it was before the former presidents left. They were sending guys to prison in LA for misdemeanors.
Right.
Now, what they would have, what they call is what it's really a national thing called the Habitual Criminal Act.
Habitual Criminal Act, yeah.
Yeah. Richard King, when you said that he went to jail for all these years for a joint, there's been numerous of cases where if you had a felony, now in God we trust, but in our nation, okay, if you have a felony, if you get in trouble, something that doesn't have nothing to do with that, because what they was doing that for was child molesters. But what they changed it to where if you had a felony robbing a bank, all of a sudden you got a felony for stealing a car. That's 2 strikes. Now you go steal a slice of pizza, and now you about to get 300 something years because you just cannot seem to not be a criminal. 80% of people what you're talking about. I see Miss Uniqueness is in. I'm gonna bring her on in. Hey, how you doing, Miss Uniqueness?
Hey y'all, how you doing?
What's up, Miss Uniqueness?
Nothing much, just here. I'm here.
That's because we got Mississippi in the house, Cameron, Missouri in the house, Long Beach in the house.
Yes, sir.
Like, look, this is a national situation. Do you know? Okay, United States is the only country that has as many prisons as we do. For one. Second, this is a fact. Blacks and Latinos make up 80% of the prisons in the United States when we only make up 13.5% of the population.
We ain't doing 80% of the crimes,
and there's
and
2,000 crimes going. Again, what you just said, 2,000 crimes going every day in the nation.
Every day.
So 13.5 is no way that they can
no way
crimes
no way we
every
can do
day.
No
and
way.
Make up 80%
right
of the prisons.
Bunch of criminals, ain't you? Bunch of criminals.
And that's how. This is what our neighbors would think. But look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna bring something up in the heart of our nation because we wonder how these situations occur when someone's going to prison. I always said this: when there's an unsolved crime. And all the technology we got, we've been watching Criminal Minds for 20 years. We see all of the aspects of modern technology of catching a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when a crime goes unsolved, I always felt that as a police officer involved, who's the one handling the evidence?
Right.
I'm not saying defund the police. I'm saying let's use some of that money to capture these crooked ones.
Yeah.
Because, okay, here we go. I'm going to bring this up. I know you've seen this in KCK. Okay, you see this lady right here? You see her?
Yeah, I remember this.
You see the guy here on the side? His name is Roger Calypsy, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Roger Calypsy, over 30 years of being on the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, has been found to not only been murdering and raping for over 30 years, he's also has been sending black men in prison and having sex with the family, knowing that he could get them out. Let me see. I don't know what's going on here. All these different women was coming up murdered. But what broke the case is that there's a guy, y'all, Big Hank.
Yes.
That he was with his mother. And the mother was fighting because the police arrested her son to go to prison. He'd been in prison for 23 years. The same police officer who's supposed to be supposedly helping her with her son is having them to have sex with. Knowing that he was sending black and like her son to prison falsely. He was in prison for 23 years before they found he was exonerated. Mm-hmm. This police officer I've dug up more was also the KCK Police Department was held with supplying a lot of drugs. This police officer was taking crack by using his as a police officer of protection for some dope dealers, and would get crack from them to pay to give the other women to have sex with. And as an enforcer for some dope dealers, he would use his authority as a police officer to take the enemies of there and set them up with murder cases and dope cases, and they was innocent. Jay-Z and his company are got deep investigations on this same situation right now. Now, the subject is all these people falsely accused. Look, if you're gonna be falsely accused, we gotta look at the ones who's putting them in prison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, falsely accused.
Look, man,
Yeah, that's cold.
I've never seen. Okay, you ain't killed nobody, and you're a dope dealer. I've seen child molesters get 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen dope dealers get 100 and something years. First, look, this is a true story. A partner of mine's uncle got arrested for selling dope in 2002. The DA said that they was proving that he was a shot caller. He said, shot caller? I got a couple of my friends come over and they was with them. So he's out on bail. When he goes to sentencing, he thinking he's going to get 2 years because he's never been arrested or nothing. They give him, the judge sentenced him to 150 years.
Mm.
Now, when they sentencing him, of course, the bailiffs and stuff gets behind you because they know you're about to act a fool, especially if somebody talking about doing 150 years.
Yeah.
So it was a melee in the court, and the judge started hitting his gavel. And you know what the judge said? He said, calm down, calm down. He said, all right, I understand that's a lot of years. So this is what we're going to do, sir. You do what you can, and we're going to help you with the rest.
That a bitch. Ain't that a bitch?
You do what you can.
Ain't that a
We'll
bitch?
help you with the rest. 150 years because you were saying this is your war on drugs.
They playing with this man's life, man. They joking with this man's life, man. That's ridiculous.
Here, America.
That don't make no type of sense.
I know Dr. Dre and Snoop and them is from Long Beach and Compton. They do not own no planes that brings dope from Nicaragua and all that over to Compton and Long Beach and South Central.
No.
Just like in Kansas City. They arrested the receiver for the Chiefs 3 or 4 years ago for landing on that private strip and he had weed.
Mm-hmm.
How we gonna bring dope?
Oh, gang.
We a tag team in the day. Later on this evening, I'm gonna be on their podcast, discussing the same situation with tag. Because how do you fight this? We got DNA started in 1940. There's not a person alive who does not have their DNA unless they was born at home or you're a Catholic. The American hospital systems keep your placenta and your umbilical cord to go into a DNA library.
Right.
Most blacks.
I was born in the country. I was delivered by my grandmother, but when I went to the military, all that, they took it then too. So
they took it in. All blacks was born in hospitals, especially from the 45s to the modern day, born in medical hospitals. They keep your placenta and your umbilical cord, which they create a DNA library. Why am I saying that? There's no way they couldn't tell that you wasn't on the crime scene or not.
See, that's the whole issue, man. You can find a 7-foot Arabian dude to kill him, okay, from 2,000 miles away. You can't find a guy that's killing people. You mean to tell me that there's not a camera, a satellite, DNA, electronics, somewhere, forensics, for Christ's sake, somewhere that I can't beyond a shadow of a doubt tell you who it was? See, we need to get rid of a lot. We need to get rid of these.
Okay,
eyewitness
like
accounts.
this. How would you know a person's not true? Okay, let's do it like this. Give them a truth serum. Torture them until they have nothing. And if they keep saying the same story, they done did this.
I know, but you know by our Constitution, you can't do that to one another. Okay, that's why forensics don't lie. If you get accurate science, it ain't gonna lie. You know, and get rid of eyewitness. If they don't allow lie detector tests to be adequate in court, they shouldn't allow eyewitness accounts either, because eyewitness can lie on purpose. If he's got a vendetta, he can lie, or he can mistake in what he's seen. You know, the human brain. It's not. We don't know a whole lot about it still. Even year 2022, we still don't know about the human brain like it does. People mistake facts. Somebody run by your office, for example. You see somebody run by. They say describe it. Well, you say, well, it had on a blue hoodie with jeans. They had on a black hoodie. Close, but that's not accurate. See, or maybe they wasn't jeans. Maybe they were black slacks. Close, but not accurate. You see what I'm saying? So the brain doesn't always. You can't rely on the brain.
Wait a minute, though. That's what we've said for years. Oh, they said, okay, it was a black guy. They seen, you just said it. If you see it's a blue hoodie and they saying it's a black hoodie, all of a sudden they seen it could be a dark tan person, or we seen a black guy.
Right. Like the story I told you a long time ago. I never did tell Hank this story. Before I went to the Marine Corps, we was out in Kansas City. Me and about 4 other black gentlemen went to get a drink. Okay, we left the MEP Center, went to get a drink. I had a fro out to about here. Okay, this thing was a big old fro. I pulled it. We were thumping some music loud. We were doing that. We were thumping music loud. We were getting ready to go off to boot camp. Let us have a little bit of something, right? Cops pull us over, and they pull their guns out, and they said, "All you N-words, get out of the car."
Mm-hmm.
So my friends got out of the front. We got out back. I sat in the car.
Right.
He said, "Look, are you deaf? N-word, get out of the car." I'm thinking, oh shit, he thinks I'm totally black. So I get out of the car. As soon as I get out of the car, I go, oh, hey, man, we're sorry. Hey, we thought these guys kidnapped you, man. We're sorry about that. Hey, man, look, hey, you guys are going to the military. Yeah, well, you have a good time. Man, kiss my ass 5 minutes ago. I was the N-word. Shut up.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Because I got darker.
He said he thought you kidnapped him after he found it. He told you to get out the car, N-word.
Yeah, after I got out the car, because I was sitting in the center. They didn't know.
Now, you just went through a particular situation at this time, like a book called Black Like Me.
Mm-hmm.
You just experienced, you said y'all was in the car, you about to head out to go to fight for this country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Julie said, hi all. Hey, Julie, how you doing? Chris Marie said, hey, Richie. She's out there in Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Julius.
Okay, you said y'all was heading out. You didn't rob nobody. You didn't do nothing, but y'all was partying and listening to some music.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, you was telling me that the police. Now, I'm not saying that. I just want to hear from your point of view. You tell me. The police stopped you for no reason?
I thought so. I mean, loud music. Is loud music really something to draw a gun on somebody? I can understand being stopped, but having guns drawn,
Okay, now, so she Julie said it's 4:36 where she's at. 4:36.
She dedicated. She dedicated. Thank you, Julie.
I'm glad she read that interesting to listen to. We appreciate that, Julie.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So you was playing loud music.
Right.
They pulling out their guns. Now, let me get this right. This is probably what? Late 80s, early 90s?
1990. It was late 1990 because I left in 1991. Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be 1990.
So 1990. You're rolling. You're playing music. You're all celebrating because you're headed out. The police stop you because of loud music, but they got their guns, and then they're using what? Derogatory statements.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if any other race calls me out of my word, out of my name, it makes me feel like you're escalating something because you are saying something that makes me upset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, stop me if I'm wrong.
Oh.
So they
trust me, they know that. They know that. They know what they're doing.
But see, I needed Richie because Richie is an ambassador when he's dealing with us, talking with me and any other minorities, because he's around a lot of the white neighbors who really don't know black, so they learn through our communication, the show, through Richie breaking it down. Now, you in the car with them, got your hair an afro. You don't got it whipped with the Dick Van Dyke look and stuff. You got the afro.
Oh, yeah, I got the little tight fro, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you witness it yourself. With the derogatory statements, with the guns. Some point in my mind say, man, I'm not going to live my life on my knees. I'd rather die standing on my feet, because all of a sudden, not only do you got control because you got the gun with the law behind you, but you also calling me a derogatory name in the 90s. Then when you didn't get out the car,
called him an N-word.
Knew that they were like, yeah, we know we N-words, right? They get on out the car. He comes up to you, ready to shoot you in your face by calling you another N-word. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, when you get out, he sees that you are a white guy. Now there's an apology. I'm just trying to see if I'm got this right. There's an apology to you. Oh man, we about to shoot you in your head.
Yeah. thought you was one of them ends, man. We thought you was one of them ends.
Now,
yeah.
Let's say the scenario was that you was. Right. You got an ass whooping coming.
And your ass would have been already out the car.
Yeah, I've seen a homie already handcuffed and they hit him anyway, and he flinched and they said, oh yeah, you trying to resist arrest. It was on
Yeah, see,
that's how they do it. They rest.
Yeah,
they on top of you. They on top of you. Got your hands behind your back, telling you, "Stop resisting! Stop resisting! You ain't resisting. You ain't doing shit." Yeah. They busting you in the back of the head and everything. Talk about stop resisting.
Stop moving.
Fuck, I'm resisting.
They found out that when I got out of the car, you know, he said, "Well, you know, you kind of you got a darker skin tone than the normal white guys." I said, "It's because I got Native American in me." Then they'll hold them interchange again. Oh, yeah. Hey, well, listen, you guys go on the service. You guys have a good time, man. Keep the music down. You know, misunderstanding, blah, blah. No, I don't misunderstand, motherfucker. Come here. You know what I mean? Let me have a conversation. Then they didn't want to have a conversation, you know, and
wait,
of course,
so
now they had us because if we got out, we got in trouble. They had to call back to the MEP Center. You see what I'm saying?
1990, Rodney King was going through the same stuff. He's shown on the camera. He's getting whooped by 6 or 7 officers with batons. Every time I see that video, I'm like, man, that's an ass whooping.
Nigga, nobody want to take that one.
For real.
Yeah.
They was beating him like bongos. Every time he hit one leg and arm come up, that was.
Yeah.
And guess what? First thing people heard, a lot of neighbors must say, he must have been resisting arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Now, countless people. Now, we got people in prison.
Yeah.
We got people murdered who didn't even make it to the prison. Oscar Grant is handcuffed, laying on his stomach just because they was all loud coming from a game. So the police officers handcuff him, laying him on the stomach, shoot him in the back of the head. Same thing now they've been saying, just like this lady tries to say in Minnesota. I thought I had my taser gun. What you need to tase him for? He's on his stomach handcuffed.
Yeah.
So you see, some people don't even make it to the prisons.
No, they don't. And that's, and I know you got people out there viewing right now want to know, what do we do? That's the thing. I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't know. No one wants to listen to what we're saying until now. All of a sudden, people vote time's coming up, or people threw enough fit now that you'll be, and we're all starting to unite. Said that's what the government don't want us to do. The government don't want us to come together.
Wait a minute.
Okay?
Is it the government, or because
Well, no, the government. It starts with the government because the government has to label you. The government has to label us. I don't like it the fact that they label us, but they have to. They have
But
to
if
label
the
us.
governor is holding evidence, who do I trust now? I only trust Big Hank.
You can't.
I trust you.
You got to trust each other. That's what I'm saying. The government don't want us to come together.
Dean, I'm trusting,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Because we're coming together. Now the Congress is like, shit, now what do we do? Now what are we going to do? Well, let's distract them. Let's distract them with this. Distract them. No. Distract these nuts. Okay. We're coming together as a society. We're tired of it. We're tired of it. Figure it out.
Julie said, ass in, ass out, do the hokey pokey.
Do the hokey pokey.
Hey, wait, mention the hokey pokey. I want to bring this attention to everyone that the man who wrote the hokey pokey died 2 weeks ago. And
didn't know that.
It's a shame they still trying to bury him, man. They put his right foot in, they take his right foot out.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Okay, man, I have to break some humor.
Yeah, that's too bad. Left foot, right arm, his arms are all out of control.
And then they turn him all about.
Yeah.
No wonder they can't get his ass. No wonder they can't get his ass in the hole. Put his ass in the hole, man.
Some people
playing with him.
Some people say, "How can y'all laugh about it? Don't you know we go through this? Welcome to our world."
What we do, man.
Look here.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
When someone has authority, and it's about power. You got some people who wants to keep trying to put these same people in power because personally they benefit from it. I'm gonna break, for example. I loved our Super Bowl. I loved the halftime show. I thought it was a nice, amazing show. I was watching some TikTok videos. I put them on my Facebook where this one guy said he was at the wrong Super Bowl halftime party. It was a whole bunch of white people. They were like, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? What bothers me from all of this is how many of the homeless people they sprayed away to get away from the stadium. And the reports that I heard to make accommodations for those who have and how we treated the have-nots.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the nerve to sit up here and call ourselves walking around protesting over somebody who dies. But while someone's living, we treat them like they some ants crossing on your sidewalk and let me spray them down and get them off my sidewalk because I don't want them in my house.
Yeah.
We love, I love
the money. The money's just the money that the NFL draws in. It brings up the bad too. All that
you're telling me that we have all this money. Now, once again, I'm not going to talk on Richie and the 72.5%. I want to talk about the 13.5% because it starts at our home. We have 13.5% of this population. I did a survey last year. They said we have more multimillionaires and billionaires within the 13.5% in any history time in the U.S. But yet, we're still the lowest income. We cry about false imprisonment, but yet they bring up these private sanctioned prisons, and we don't counter that. We put a lot of our energy with selling. I attend St. Luke's Holy Baptist Church in Long Beach, which Big Hank is the head deacon with Dr. Williams, and they brought up this brother from Mississippi one day to preach, big old fat guy to preach and stuff. And it's not like our pastor selected him; he just reached out, and our pastor got a good heart. He let him come up and preach, and he lost me when he gonna bring about marijuana being legal. Like, dude, you don't, Long Beach of all cities, you don't come and talk about that when God tells me everything from the ground is good. But yet he is preaching these rhetoricness but he was so fat he can, and I'm like, wait a minute, man. Let's
Yeah.
talk about gluttony.
Yeah. How about that?
Let's talk about using your body as a temple of God and you just letting it go to waste like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, see, because we listen to propaganda. How do you control the crowds of blacks? One, which pastor. A lot of people want word of God built around their lives instead of letting their lives build around the word. Second, what type of humanity or humans will leave a person on prison when they knowing that they're innocent, evidence being suppressed? They know they innocent. They know that they're innocent. And you know why we don't care? Because we'll still spray people away from the sidewalks than the other people who's going to pay a minimum of $3,000 to watch a football game.
Yeah.
Man.
None of us thought about those people that was being sprayed around the stadium. We was interested in the football game in the halftime show.
And really not a whole lot of people knew about that spraying. The average person didn't hear anything about somebody getting sprayed or anything like that until you brought it up.
Hey man, look here. Guess what?
And the halftime show was awesome, but let me ask you a question. Can we stop calling 50 Cent 50 Cent? Can we start calling him a buck now?
Nah, hey man, look.
He
I got somebody here in the back room. I got somebody who was the lead security for the Super Bowl. William Rodriguez Morrison was running for mayor of Los Angeles, was the lead of the security for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I tried to ask him to get me in the feds, and no, none of them weren't having it.
they don't want you to know feds.
Yeah, they will not letting you. Even the security's been checked. He was the lead. Hold on, I'm gonna bring him in. Hold up, Mr. William Morrison. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing all right. Just had to take care of a spam phone call, man. They've been calling since like 5:30 in the morning.
Yes. I was telling everybody. I know you busy.
There was another one of these guys.
I'm not gonna keep you, but you was the head security for the Super Bowl.
Yes, I was, man. And I actually, you know what? I'll put in let me go get the jacket. They let us keep the uniforms, bro.
Huh.
So yeah, my jacket and my uniform.
If you don't know, anybody who's especially coming in from the Los Angeles area, Mr. Rodriguez Morrison is running for mayor of Los Angeles.
Oh, that jacket tight.
Official, see? He got the official.
Yeah, jacket tight.
I know, man. Somebody wanted to buy the jacket from me, my shirt, and I go, man, no, man, I got to keep that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
enough. Yeah, so that's a good thing.
You running for mayor, I want to ask you this on a political thing. Our subject today, and we're running over to the Woe Entertainment Show. We've been talking about those who's falsely imprisoned and been in there for 20, 30 years, and we find out police is setting people up. And you running for mayor of Los Angeles, and you grew up. Matter of fact, he owns property in Baldwin Park, if I'm not mistaken.
Boyle Heights in the hood.
Boyle Heights, that's right, Boyle Heights. So you know the cities. What is your reactions to this, man?
Well, I know that there's a lot of people that got locked up because of cannabis. Now that cannabis is legal, they should be released. But with all these rules, this is crazy. There's people that are creating crimes, stealing Rolex watches. They just process them, and then they let them go. So that doesn't make no sense at all. It's time for accountability on all that, because all those crimes were like misdemeanors. They should be released. Well, they already served their time, right?
Well, Mr. Morrison, we were just saying this. Within the past 8 to 10 years, I was looking it up. I was wrong with the dates, but we were saying 5, 6, but it was the past 8 to 10 years, people has been going to prison for misdemeanors.
Right. And it's basically our black and brown communities, and that's not right.
Yeah.
And then
Now,
they can't even vote because they serve their time being in prison. They're not even allowed to vote.
well,
Those
I
are
have to give
voices
that
of the
to
people.
former President Donald Trump. He did sign that bill in that felons can be able to vote
Right. But
because he
Biden,
had a lot of friends
Biden
that were
actually messed
felons, so
it
he
up.
needs.
And then also, then there was the other thing with the military, with the DACA program. If they served in the military, they would get a pathway to citizenship. Biden got rid of that. So I'm going to change the city charter so this way it goes back to the people. Get back control. Give back the control to the people.
But what about those that are in prison falsely?
It's time to start releasing them. I want to see what my grant writer can do to try to release them. The ones that live here in the city of LA, which I know they're not going to really be too happy because they make a lot of money with these inmates being in prison.
Yeah. Now, yes, and we
They
know.
do.
Now I'm going to ask you this because, go ahead, Richie.
First of all, thank you for joining the show, brother. We can never have enough conversation about this. One of the things I suggest we do is start putting some teeth to some laws. For example, if a prosecuting attorney or a sheriff or a police officer, or even a judge, have evidence and they don't come forward with it, they should get the same amount of time as the inmate or the person's already served or something. Because right now there's nothing. They're not held accountable at all. Okay,
Mhm.
they say, well, you know what? I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Here you go. Oh, by the way, you can't get
But
no
Richie,
check.
anything they write up is going to take 4 or 5 years. They're saying, hey, we writing up a motion and all this stuff. People be needing stuff now and stuff.
Well,
We always waiting
true,
and like, oh,
but
this going to go by and this.
Right.
even if it's 4 or 5 years, it needs to get started.
But before William came on, I was mentioning about how, one, if our society can keep people innocent in prisons, I also brought up, Mr. Morrison, about how they sprayed people away from the stadium so they wouldn't be messing with those inside.
Right.
The homeless that surround the stadium and all this. We're talking about $2 billion vault. We're talking about all this. When do people's lives, for one, become more valuable than materials?
Right. And actually, I believe you already know. Her name is Karen. She does a radio show over in Orange County.
Yeah, we know,
There's a gentleman by the name of David that's in prison for just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's been locked up for like 25 years. So hopefully he gets out within this year.
Well, I've
Because
heard a lot about his, and I think that with so many different people pulling with different stories, that's what clouds it up for Mr. David. See, you got a lot of people that seems to be not on the right side of the lane. They can smile in your face and look a certain way, but let's say it like this: nothing from nothing leaves nothing. When you got people who's not about really doing something, that means they got nothing and they speaking a lot, hoping that this other person have something to help. And sometimes you fall under a ground of manipulation on that situation. Anybody who's innocent, whether they in the wrong place at the wrong time or whatever, if we have all the technology that we have,
right.
When I'm seeing criminal minds say you can take a strand of hair and check the DNA like that.
Yes.
But see, we can't see past that because we still got some flaws in our humanity looking. Or when someone gets killed, I've told people, those who went out and protested, like when Mr. Floyd got murdered, how many other arrests have you went by and didn't say nothing? How can we talk about humanity, about people incarcerated, when we're actually taking live events like not knocking? I love the Super Bowl show. I love the people that was in there. But we sprayed people away like they was ants on a trail to not lead into my house.
Right.
How can we decry the inhumane on one thing and turn around and counter that? And do the same, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
and do the inhumane. Yeah.
Right.
It gets me.
That's crazy.
So true. That is so true.
Yeah.
That was my other phone ring, man. That was.
Hey man,
I'm getting tired of those.
we know you running for mayor of Los Angeles, man. Before you get off, man, you want to share something or where people, you got a website now too, right?
Yeah, I got the website up and running. Now we just gotta get the signatures to qualify to get on the ballot. And I just got off the phone with Unite Here Local 11. They're endorsing Kevin DeLeon, and then I really ripped them right now because I said, look, in my community, he represents my community as a city councilman. Now, why it doesn't make sense? You do an ADA curve, and it even like in the Watts area and stuff like that. You make those ADA curves, but you don't fix the sidewalk. People going down the middle of the street with their wheelchair. This doesn't make no sense. There's no accountability.
We want you to get hit going transitionally nice. When you get hit by that car, we're gonna want to say you went smooth into that transition. No sidewalks, but the intersection, because you know I'm an ADA specialist. And they do the intersection.
Let me ask you something. Hey, Mr. Morrison, let me ask
you. Sure, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question about your sidewalks. Take care, Julie. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you tonight. See you tonight at 6. Here in the state of Missouri, we have a big debate over who owns the sidewalk in front of your house. Okay, when it comes to fixing it, the state fixes it, but if you don't shovel it, you get a ticket for shoveling it. Okay, if it's got a hole in it and somebody falls down, they can sue you. Okay,
right.
So there's a big
how's
it out there? How's it out there where you're
out here? They were trying to do that, and then plus we fought against that, so it's the city's responsibility, Public Works, to take care of it. But you know they lack so long with all their work that they do. You know, Public Works, they subcontract out everything. Yeah. They don't even do the work. They just stand around and watch the other people doing the work, getting paid.
And I add this though, because I am, when I say ADA, especially with right of ways. To answer your question, Redneck, is that your property line stops before the sidewalk. That's called your property line.
Right.
The sidewalk and the part of grass that's going towards the street is called Public Works. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that if you keep your grass cut in that, and you don't cut that little piece of strip of grass between the sidewalk and the curb, it'll grow, right? So you want to keep it as neat. Well, people don't know is that you can charge the city for upkeep.
Right.
You charge.
I didn't know that, man. I better start billing them.
No, you can charge the city for upkeep of the sidewalks. You got to give them the square footage and how long you've been doing it, and they reimburse you. Like if you shoveling the sidewalk, you're supposed to give them the hours that you did that. That's called Public Works.
Right.
Well, I've helped a lot of people with that.
Some towns don't believe
in that. Is right too. You can file an ADA lawsuit. I've seen a lot of people do that.
Right. That's why I've been encouraging my neighbors too as well, because I have 4 that live on this block.
Yes.
And now I just went out to go pick up the mail, and then she was in the middle of the street, and then she goes, "When's Kevin gonna fix this? Thought you already talked to his office." I said, "Man, they only want to come out here." So I keep on hounding them. I just got off the phone with them a little bit earlier before I came online.
Well, I was glad that you seen. I knew you had a busy weekend. Well, busy week because he was overshadowing Dr. Dre basically the whole time as well. And I'm glad that you were safe and everything. But we've been it's not about us. We've been talking about the people though that's incarcerated. Matter of fact, this evening, 4:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Midwest time, we're going to be tag teaming this subject on Richie's show. His show is on every Tuesday and stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna be on that long. Their show's like 2 hours. They like a Baptist service.
And the Lord said,
But man, this be fun though. But Mr. Morrison, we want you to interact more because we know that you coming up. You need signatures. You got primaries. You got a lot of odds stacked against you, and we support
Right.
you. You know, well, I support you. I can't say we because I don't speak for other groups of people. Um, Undoubtedly, I live in Long Beach, and I don't want to get you in trouble by going down there and putting false address. I get in trouble.
Hey, nah, it's all right, but I can get volunteers though. Volunteers can always help.
false
Man.
address. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we do
False address. Yeah.
we don't want nobody to do nothing wrong to put him in the office.
You know
No
what?
scandals.
Talking about the Super Bowl, I kind of got messed up with that because I took my petitions down there. I picked them up on Saturday, and since it was being run by the NFL, I was trying to get signatures from all my other employees, but they go, "Oh no, you got to do that on your own time. You can't get those things in here. You better check them in."
Hey, you think we didn't let Colin Kaepernick take a knee? You think you gonna let you have your paperwork out here too?
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as I went through that metal detector, then one guy comes over. He goes, "What's all those papers?" I said, "They're my petitions." He goes, "Oh no, you're gonna have to check that in with bag check-in." I go, "So what?"
Yeah, man.
I said, "I can't get signatures from my employees." He goes, "No, gotta check it in."
You must have forgot where you was at, Mr. Morgan.
Can't have no more protesters here, brothers.
I was thinking of pulling out my cell phone, and do a recording and go, "Then you're discriminating against me because I'm brown."
That's right.
Yeah, but you know what, fellas,
That was my
we're
fault.
gonna wrap it up.
Alrighty.
Mr. Morrison, it's an honor that you came in. I really appreciate you coming in. We want to see more of you because I wanted you to come in and really break down what you're trying to offer to the city of Los Angeles.
Well, I can make it really quick on that. Basically, I'm going to change the city charter. I already have a grant writer and an attorney to give back the power to the people. Now, what's going to happen since city council is not going to go hourly and they are on salary, that means they work 7 days a week. But I am going to give them Sunday off. So I'm going to change the rules to where they got to be at their district office and have their meetings on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They're not going to like that too much because they need to solve the problems in the district. And if they're not happy with it, I'll go, okay, well, you can get paid hourly, but you know what? You're going to get your QR code, which I don't think I brought my credential in the house. No, I didn't. Where you scan it and it matches up with your picture. So I know that they're there at the
and they need 30 or 40% of actual results of stuff per week.
Exactly.
All this money we pay our city workers and got more potholes. Come on, man. At least show 30-40% of improvement or something. They really trying to get tight now with the city because we got the Olympics coming in 2028.
Right. Yeah. And we got all these homeless. And with the homeless, $2.9 billion are already allocated to the city of LA.
Use a broom and a big old dustpan and sweep them all up. We're gonna bring them out down there in Phoenix.
If you check out this thing, it's a website, palletshelters.com. They're only $7,900. The city's saying that they're $100,000, but the city took that money. The program's being run by the county. So what happened to all that money? Eric Garcetti's trying to get out of Dodge really quick. He wants to go to Dubai so he can get out. But if I can win this thing in the primary, I'm going to hold him here, and he's going to be accountable.
In 2028, the Olympics is in Los Angeles, and look, everybody know I'm a civil designer by trade. I actually have ADU plans, accessory dwelling units, which have been approved by Los Angeles. Right, gonna take them down to the city. All they need is lands. These homes only cost about $15,000 to build. They 1-2 bedroom dwelling homes for single parent families up to 3 or 4.
Right.
You know, but this is what we put ourselves into because it's about who got more and who don't. So, fellas,
Hey, but on that, Roy, you know what I'm gonna do?
yes,
Because basically, it should be rent should be based on your income. So those high-rise buildings that are empty, it's gonna be based on your income, 1/3 of your income. So if it's like a $10,000, we'll put it apartment. You know, they're not gonna be happy with me when these other individuals move in there.
hey, can
They're
we
gonna be
do
very, very upset with me.
um um a show this Thursday about this charter?
Yes.
Is that
Mhm.
too? Can we do that, or is that against the
No, it's
rule?
fine, man, because you know what? It's time. The public needs to wake up, and they're not aware of it. It's
Because
already in the
honestly,
city
we don't know
charter.
what the old charter is, and the old charter don't seem like it's been working for us.
Right. The old charter says 1/3 of your rent should be affordable for affordable housing. When they were building those units, they said it's going to be affordable. Who's it affordable for? It's not affordable for us, so it should be based on the income the way they already have it written up in the LA City Charter.
Wow.
But
Hey
nobody
man,
enforces it.
let's bring this up. Let's bring this up Thursday.
All righty,
We
perfect.
passed our
Be
time. I'm
more
gonna
than
call
happy
it.
to do that.
We're gonna name the show about the Los Angeles Charter. I'm for real and stuff
Right.
because the whole world seems to look at Los Angeles and they think that it's always glitz and glamour, but they don't understand that there's a lot of shaky foundation underneath
Yeah.
as well.
Underlying effects. Yeah, some
Yeah,
underlying effects. Yeah.
and we need
It's
to.
all those fault lines, the earthquake fault lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to thank Mr. Morrison coming in. I want to thank Richard King, Redneck Pimp coming in. I'm gonna be on the show this evening. I'm gonna pop in a little bit. Big Hank, co-star of this show. Don't have to thank him for being on the show. It's his show as well.
Yes, sir.
It's
It's his job, yeah.
yeah. Big Hank, are you coming on this evening with them?
I'm not sure. Not
Okay.
sure, man. But
In case you do, let me know, and
yeah.
I get the
Send me
link.
the link, man. You said
Okay.
it's gonna be at 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock your time. Yes.
I'm not sure. All right.
All right.
Okay, fellas, it's a pleasure seeing everybody. We're gonna tag team on this conversation again under Richard King and Wolen.
All
He
right.
got WO royalty now.
Well,
Okay.
check it out.
Yeah,
Look, they gave me
never
my
did change
shotgun.
that, but
Can you see it, Roy?
Yeah. What is that?
Well, it's supposed to give me balance. So this lady, I went out to San Bernardino yesterday. She makes like all these bead things. So she was telling me that I should be wearing it at all times.
What are you supposed to wear it at?
Around my neck.
Oh.
Yeah, it's around my neck, man.
Yeah. Okay. Now we seeing it. Okay. And it
Yep.
give
you
you
got
balance.
tribal affiliation? You got tribal affiliation?
Well, basically, what was going on? She made me one bracelet with my how can I put it? My colors for, I guess, for like October. And I took it back to her because she goes, I can repair it for you. When I took it over there, she goes, oh no, oh my God. She goes, somebody put some evil stuff on you. She goes, you need to bury it in your yard or throw it away once you get home. Man, when I was driving back from San Bernardino, man, I felt like I was ready to throw up. So I had the new shaka that she just made for me when I was there. So as soon as I put that thing in, I said, okay, let me bury it in the front yard where my dog's buried at. So I put it in the front yard. Man, dude, I felt like throwing up, but then I felt like everything was released from me, man. So,
Oh,
you know, and I know I got
into
the
that. He
chaplain
does that.
supporting
That's
me and praying
spiritual.
for me, but whoever it is, you know, I'm gonna try to figure that out. I'm thinking it might be one of my opponents. The guy I was just talking about, Kevin De Leon. You've seen that part of Mexico where they like doing their little magic stuff. Yeah, man. I hope he doesn't win.
About that
I'm out, Roy. I'm out.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
brothers.
man, I'm out,
You guys
fellas.
take care. It was a pleasure meeting you all.
Okay, for sure. God bless everyone.
All righty. You have a wonderful and blessed day.
You have the same, William.
Roy.
Me.
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The